That's a good one. Love scrolling. What you just witnessed there was brain rot taking effect. Brain rot is the loss of attention span just because of how much you have scrolled either Instagram or the forbidden, gut-wrenchingly awful YouTube shorts. However, to counteract this, you should read a book. And today we're going to be talking about one that's coincidentally about the internet. It came from the internet. Hi, Goosebumps are dummies. I'm going to be reviewing this thing today. It is the 31st GYG in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series, and it's a very popular one for one sole reason: the cover. And I'll give my props. Craig White, you cooked. However, it's a little overrated, but still very good. As for the story, though, let's find out. And now for blurb. Log on for a free megabytes. What a pun. A creepy computer message just flashed on your screen. It says your web crawler is a virus, and if you don't get rid of it, you'll catch the virus too. Hey, look out. The web crawler is alive and crawling right out of your computer. It's sinking its fangs into you. Now you've got a computer virus. Are we a robot?
No, you don't understand. She's not a robot. She's a woman.
And it's erasing your memory. Can you find a cure before you forget what's wrong with you? Should you trust a doctor who wants you to eat computer chips and dip? Or should you let a hacker take you on a virtual reality trip to Coffin City? The choice is yours in the scary Goosebumps adventure vex packed of over 20 super spooky endings. Sorry, I turned into a robot there. And the story is fine. One of the biggest upsides I can say right off the bat is the fact that this book is one giant arc. You heard me right, it's one arc. I don't know why, but most UIGs usually do two. This one decided to do one. And it's not even like 1.5, it's just one arc. There's branches here and there, but they're no more than like 15 pages at the worst. It's really just a big one arc story, and I quite love that direction. It's super random, but very nice. There's also the actual concept behind the book, which I think is really good, where it's basically electronics. And I think it's really cool, even if I felt like it wasn't fully delivered on, really. There's some great endings in here, which I will explicitly mention. There's a specific popping one, which was really gross, involving Spider being popped. You just gotta read it to find out. It's super disgusting. There's also some very, sad and macabre endings, like, say, the rerun ending. Very depressing. A little goofy too, but depressing. Or the blood donation ending. Holy crap, was that one depressingly sad and morbid. But no less, some great endings in here, though they're few and far in between. There's also Spider, the guy in the cover. He's the most interesting thing I have seen from this series. It's a literal living web crawler. And I don't know what they were going for with him here, apart from being a catalyst for the plot, which I think is fine, but his, not really character, but his appearance and generally being in the book is really nice. I like him as an entity, I guess, even if he has some flaws. I wish he was more fleshed out, but he's still really cool. There's also the meta segment in this book, which I gotta say is probably the highlight here. You go to the Goosebumps website. Just plain and simple. It's quite later on, but it is just it's the icing on this fine cake. It's a bit dry, but it's the icing here. Not enough of it, though, I feel. Seriously, I love Goosebumps, and I love GYGs especially for their meta-ness. However, this was not even crossing a line. It crossed every line, and it did it beautifully. It's just one of the most stupid things I've ever read, and I love it. They literally went to the Goosebumps website. How damn meta can you get? Oh, and there's also the actual virus that you are encountering and dealing with in this book. It's cool. There's some great aspects of it, but I think were unique, like the whole losing your memory thing, which I thought was uniquely terrifying in its own right. But overall, this book was fine, okay, mostly because it's weighed down by some disappointment. This is proof, if you know what I'm talking about, that you've read this thing. Bananas. The stupidest shit I've ever seen. Let's just say Spider is drawn to bananas. I mean, I can kind of see it. Stupid stuff like that. Not very good. I think there could have been something easily in place of that, but whatever. It's a nitpick. My biggest nitpick that I've had in a while, but it's stupid, but whatever. Actual, genuine hard hitters now. Disappointment, man. I'm not, one to say, oh, man, just because the blurb advertised something more, or, I was hoping for something else, that this is a bad thing, but, there's just not a lot done with the actual idea that is advertised here in that play, which is the fact that this is going to be an internet-based story. No, it's really a help, I have a virus story, and it's not a lot about actually being on the web and surfing, though there's segments involving that, like the virtual reality bit and the intro more so. Not a lot of it really delivered on what I was hoping for here. And it's not even that, it's just generally what it's trying to be wasn't fully succeeding, and in fact, it was a bit of a mess. There I say it. This one didn't have a clear direction at some points, and it felt a little, messy, sometimes drawn out, sometimes just not clear on what it's trying to do. And it's generally just a what the fuck is happening kind of thing at points. Not a huge mess, but it's a light mess at the very least. And for my least favorite downside to give the GYGs, the endings. They're all mid. Most of them. There's a good 5 here that I liked, like, genuinely. Which I mentioned already, the faves, but really, most of them are just super forgettable and nothing. And if you're wondering why I factor these endings, and some people have asked before, these endings are a huge part of these books. They're the advertised thing, they're the whole gimmick, so it's pretty important that a game book has good endings. Not a lot of them are very memorable or stinger or anything good. They're just, okay, whatever. Get on with it, and that's not very good. I'm going to give this book a 6.5 out of 10. It came from the internet, is a little bit disappointing, and it didn't have a lot of great endings that really stuck out or stung, like, oh, that's disgusting, or morbid, or, oh, thank God, nothing like that. Really, none of them really landed aside from a handful, and I just wish for something more out of this story, even though I still enjoyed it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my review for this one. Tell me what you think about It Came From The Internet down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.